everyone! Welcome to Flexibility Script. This video is going to be going into things to help our feet. And I'm going to show you some tools I like to use that are rather inexpensive that will help improve the mobility of the bottom of the foot, and then follow that with some exercises that help create some strength in that new ranges of motion in the feet as well. Some functional range conditioning for your feet. I will be starting off with using something called the Voodoo Band / Floss Compression Band. It's a band. Floss just means movement, and it's pretty much a band that can compress our musculature and joints. And then once they're compressed, we floss, which means just move it. And so we're going to do that for the bottom of the foot. This is great to help things like plantar fasciitis or any issues with the bottom of the foot and ankle, and helps really get, if there's any swelling or inflammation, like let's say there's been an ankle sprain, any swelling or inflammation in the area is kind of flushed out naturally via the lymphatic system due to the high amount of compression that the band provides. And once that band is compressed around that foot and ankle, you start moving it, and it kind of starts forcing things out, such as some of that swelling that could be there and inflammation. And then when you release the band, you get this new rush of blood flow to the area, and things are moving and feeling better, freer, lighter. And if there's some injury there, tendonitis type of injuries, plantar fasciitis injuries, it also helps speed up that healing and recovery process. So it's kind of doing a self-massage for the foot, but has a load of benefits to it, and it can be uncomfortable, but once you are done with it, that discomfort is usually worth the results. So also will always improve range of motion in the foot and ankle as well. So it does a lot in a little. So this band is made by the Rubber Bandits company, but there's other bands out there too. There's ones made by Rogue, and there's a company, Rogue, ROGUE. They were the first that I heard about it years ago, and they made it. It was called the Voodoo Floss Band, and so I've just always referred to this as the Voodoo Band. But Rock Tape also has one called Rock Floss, and I know that there's other companies out there too who are making their own floss compression band. Whichever one you're able to get a hold of is great, and just use it to help yourself. And again, we're going to go into our foot and ankle. So one of the things you should know is that it's very normal with the amount of compression that the band provides, is that they'll have a loss of blood flow. So it's normal if you have your foot is exposed like mine is, that it will be normal for it to have a dead-like appearance, like a cadaver, as that blood flow starts going away from the foot as you're doing the mobilization. Once you release the band though, you get this rush of new blood flow. So don't panic, and you'll only have it on for about 1 or 2 minutes. As soon as you feel like it's really getting difficult to move, or you start feeling strong tingles, respect the tingles and remove the band. So as I wrap, I'm gonna find like the base of the toes here, and I'm gonna come and wrap the band around the top. Now what I'm gonna do is that compression, I want it to go on the bottom of the foot, and then kind of we'll run up into the back of the ankle, the Achilles tendon area. So when I'm doing this, the compression is going to go on that side, and then hardly anything on the opposite side. Every time I do put that compression on, I'm always going to apply 50 to 70%. So let's say this is 100. So I'm going to go half of that, 50 to 70%, as I wrap. So I'm going to pin right along with my fingers here. I'm going to stretch, wrap, and then hardly anything. Usually that first wrap is usually the hardest one. Again, I'm going to take this hand, I'm going to pin, I'm going to use my other hand to stretch, and then wrap that bottom of the foot, and then wrap around. I usually just keep trading that band off from one hand to the other as I keep going through. So pin, stretch, wrap, and then going around the top of my foot here. Again, pin, stretch, wrap. And you don't have to hold your foot up. I'm just holding the foot up for camera's purpose. So again, pin, stretch, wrap. And then right as I come through here, I'm gonna leave that little bit of heel exposed at the end there. And I'm gonna go right around that Achilles tendon area. And then just keep working my way. So now I'm pinning the outside of my foot here, ankle. And I'm gonna stretch, I'm gonna wrap so it goes around the back. And I'll just keep traveling up, covering the tissue of the calf and ankle. And then once I get to the end, I will find somewhere in the band that I can kind of tuck and thread the band through to secure it in place. So right there, kind of looped it under. And now once it's wrapped, all I'm going to be doing is I'm just pointing and flexing my foot. Now this is really active and just kind of passively going into it. If I wanted to add a little bit more of a load, I can always stand and go up and down like a little calf races and be able to get more load under the tissue while I'm doing this. This tends to be a little bit more of a gentler approach, and no wrong or right. Sometimes when there's a lot of achiness and inflammation, I tend to keep it to this, to where there's not a load, where I'm just seated and taking my ankle through this plantar flexion, dorsiflexion, this motion here. And then if I'm using it as a warm-up tool to just kind of get blood flow going, get things a little looser in place of like maybe foam rolling or any other form of self-massage or myofascial release techniques, I can do this because it'll cover my foot and ankle all together, and 1 to 2 minutes and everything is nice and good and massaged out and moving and feeling better. So if I'm using it in a warm-up for that purpose, I can go into doing where I go into more active motion, so where I'm lunging or going on doing calf raises and such. So as I keep going, as that 1 to 2 minutes passes, it starts getting a little harder to move, and then I start feeling like, oh, things are starting to fall asleep, or maybe there's tingles. For me, I usually find that it just starts getting harder to move. Once I start feeling that, I'll remove the band, and as I remove it, I'll start getting this rush of blood flow that starts coming into my foot, and it starts getting nice and red in comparison to, if I can hold it up, comparison to the other. This is that voodoo foot, and so blood flow starts going in, and then if I walk around and I move, it usually feels freer, more mobile. If I've been walking or running a lot, it's a nice way to self-care for the bottom of the foot and ankle, and release the tension in the tissue and improve its flexibility and mobility overall. So that's the Voodoo Band, or Floss Compression Band, I should say. And then I usually, when I'm done, when I go to rewrap it, instead of me doing this here, I'll just grab a hold of the sides and then kind of just roll it up this way. It tends to be a lot faster and easier. Also, it's a lot easier to, as you wrap around the foot and ankle or anywhere of your extremities, that you keep the band in this roll, as opposed to letting it go all loose and then trying to wrap around. It's a lot harder to control as opposed to keeping it in the roll as you wrap around. So, and it doesn't have to look pretty or anything, as long as you have it wrapped and start introducing movement. That's all that matters. Other thing I forgot to mention is that as I wrapped around, I kind of cover half of the last band I put down. So as I go through it, it will look like that, where half of the band is covered, as opposed to layering it one on top of the other. So as I keep working my way up, I cover half of the band that I put down. So another thing that's really helpful for the foot, along the same lines of self-massage and self-care, is doing some massage techniques with things like tennis balls, lacrosse balls, pinky balls, where you're just kind of massaging the bottom of the foot. And I like using this RockBall. It's a bit of a spiky ball, and there's a technique I've done on it for the hand. That is a similar technique that I'll be using for the foot. So this next part, you won't see my face, but I'll kind of be talking through it. I'm going to do my other foot, my left foot. So I'm going to move the camera down. And now this ball is going to be going on the bottom of my foot, and it's going to go like from heel towards the ball of the foot. I'm going to be going forward and back a couple times, side to side a couple times, kind of talking through. Also about 1 to 2 minutes, about the same time I use the Voodoo Band, except this just covers the bottom of my foot. That Floss Compression Voodoo Band covered like my whole foot and ankle. So the difference between the two. So from here, the ball's on the ground. And all I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go from my heel and I'm going to roll it up towards the ball of my foot and toes, and then roll right back, forward and back. And that's, once I get that going, I start kind of doing it with some speed. I could stand and put a little bit more pressure through it, or I can stay seated and kind of control the amount of pressure a little bit easier, and it's a little bit more steady too. So I'm rolling forward and back. I go for about 10 times. After I do about 10, I'm going to isolate more the medial aspect of the foot. I'm going to still stay through the heel and roll towards the big toe. Whoopsie. And then again, kind of, so still going forward and back. Now, usually if I'm at home, there's some carpet on the floor, and it's a little easier to roll on a carpeted surface than to roll on the surface I'm on now, but I could still make it work. From here, I'll do the same, but I'm going to go more lateral portion of the foot, so more the outside portion of the foot. Same thing, rolling forward and back. So the first one was just forward and back along the whole foot. The next two parts are the same, but one's more focused on the outside, one's more focused on the inside. Same thing, rolling forward and back. This, what I would call this, is the scrubbing technique for the foot. So from here, I'm going to go into the side-to-side motion. So I'm going to go in the heel and I'm going to go side to side, and I'll scrub the bottom of the foot, that heel portion of the foot, a couple times side to side. I'm going to go more towards the middle, same thing, some side-to-side scrubbing. And again, if I wanted to, I could stand and put more pressure. Then from here, I'm going to go towards the ball of the foot area, and same thing, some light scrubbing side to side. Whoopsie. And then once I'm done with this side to side, I can kind of freestyle and go into little circles in one direction, trying to cover the whole foot here, from heel towards the ball of the foot, and I can switch the direction. Say if you have animals like dogs or cats, I usually close myself up in a room. Sometimes there's a tendency that they'll think that the ball is a play toy, and they'll try to take it away from me as I roll. Keep that in mind as you roll out, and then once I'm done with those circles, I'll go back to going forward and back the same way I started. I play a little going side to side as I go forward and back, kind of integrating the two. No wrong or right. And then once I'm done, I'll stop, and there's going to be this nice blood flow to the bottom of the foot. It should feel freer, lighter, and that's the technique with the RockBall. So from here, I've done some self-massage technique for the bottom of the foot, and there's some nice little flexibility things that can be done for the toes. I'm going to go right into these active flexibility techniques for the toes. They're going to be focused on your big toe function and all the toes. If I was to demonstrate with my hand, it's going to be like the big toe tries to lift up, then all the other fingers try to lift up, and then all the toes try to lift up and the big toe tries to press down, and vice versa. So same thing, you're not going to see my face, but you'll have you to my feet on this next part, guiding you through. So what's going to happen here, I'm going to come on up, and then from here, I'm going to think about trying to lift all the toes up off the ground for 3, 2, 1, then right back down. Again, as I lift, I'm going to try to see if I could spread those toes for 3, 2, 1, right back down. Again, lift up, spread, 3, 2, 1, back down, and go 2 more times. 3, 2, 1. With every single time, I try to lift up as high as I can and spread them out as much as I can. And even if they're not lifting up very high, you're still gonna try to make that connection between your brain and your feet. Now from here, I'm gonna let these toes stay on the ground, and I'm gonna work on lifting the big toe and try to just lift that big toe and hold 3, 2, 1, right back down. Again, lift, 3, 2, 1, back down. My toes are nice and spread. And again, all the toes stay down. 3, 2, 1, and just that big toe comes up. 3, 2, 1, and one more. Lift up as high. 3, 2, 1. And now this next part, the big toe is going to stay down on the ground, and all the other toes are going to try to lift up while the big toe stays on the ground. And here I go. 3, 2, 1. Back down. Again, big toe stays down. Lift all the others. 3, 2, 1. Back down. Repeat. 3, 2, 1. So you're really working on creating some strength on all the musculature along this top of the foot here. And right back down. And we'll go one more. 3, 2, 1, and back down. Now this next part's going to look similar, but I'm going to start with my toes up off the ground. So I'm going to lift them all up, and now from here I'm going to work on trying to see if I can get my big toe to touch down for 3, 2, 1, right back up. Again, 3, 2, 1, right back up. As I do this, I keep working on trying to not let these other toes help me out, and then lift up. Again, down, 3, 2, 1, and then one more, about 5 reps of each one. 3, 2, 1, and back up. Now the toes are going to stay up, and now all these other guys are going to try to go down. 3, 2, 1, back up. Again, coming down. 3, 2, 1. Same thing, I'm going to try to make a connection to see if I can keep these big toes still and try to have all the other toes come down. 2, 1, back up. And again, 3, 2, 1, back up. And that's a nice little basic routine to help create some strength and conditioning for the bottom of for the feet, the musculature of the foot themselves. Sometimes I like to end with lifting them all up and seeing if I could play almost like a little piano, where I go pinky, then the next finger, then the middle finger, then the other toe, I can't speak, and then the big toe. Again, I'll lift up and I'll try to see if I can try to control each one at a time, and then back up, and then again. And I'm just trying to do my best with what I got. Some days are better than others. And then again. And then one more time. I try to spread them. Spreading them usually helps. That way I can control the pinky, then the next finger, then the middle finger, then the next one, and then the toe. So there's a little bit more that can help the toes. I'm just going to stop here for the day just because of the length of the video, but I hope you found that helpful. The other stretches that I was going to show was going to be a little bit more on the passive side, and I kind of skipped over that and went right from releasing to kind of trying to use go right into some active flexibility, I should say. So I hope you find it helpful. Give it a shot and just try to keep working. If you can't seem to lift them up or make a connection, you just keep trying to train them and try to use them. You should have function of your toes and feet the way you do your hands, and usually they're just trapped in shoes all day. So really trying to work on restoring that foot and ankle function usually has an improvement in gait and balance and so much more. All right, give it a shot. Bye.